Hello everyone, welcome to Clear Perspective. I'm Serene. Although the Biden administration has temporarily avoided a partial shutdown, the Treasury Department will run out of funds on October 18th and face a debt default. The increase or removal of the debt ceiling is currently deadlocked in Congress due to the opposition from Republicans. Meanwhile, Biden's $1 trillion infrastructure bill and the $3.5 trillion Build Back Better Act are still stuck in Congress due to internal conflict within the Democratic Party. Specifically, New York Congresswoman AOC and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders and others hardcore leftist socialists have bundled the $1 trillion infrastructure bill in the House in order to get the radical $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill through the Senate. If the Senate does not pass the $3.5 trillion, the House will not pass the infrastructure bill. In the Senate, moderate Democrats such as Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona and Joe Manchin of West Virginia both supported the infrastructure bill, but opposed the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. They both suffered personal harassment and attacks as a result. As of Monday, October 4th, the Democratic Party is still negotiating internally. They may come up with a reduced-scale settlement. We are not focusing on these bills today, but how the leftists viciously treated Sinema. Also relevant to the Democratic Party on Monday was the announcement by Andrew Yang, a presidential candidate of the Democratic Party in 2020, that he was leaving the party. He also made an emotional statement. Let's start with Sinema's encounter in Arizona this weekend. On Friday, Sinema returned to Arizona. She gave a lecture at Arizona State University on Sunday. The school building was locked, and a group of liberal activists sneaked into the building. They followed Sinema from the classroom into a women's restroom, filmed her walking into the restroom store and leaving, and then followed her back to the classroom while other women were using the restroom. On the same night, those liberals harassed Sinema at her fundraising event again, so she had to enter through the back door. They did so only because Sinema did not support the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. The bill includes an amnesty that will provide a pathway to citizenship for millions of undocumented immigrants. Though the Senate parliamentarian did not approve it, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer still prepared alternate proposals for it. One of the activists who harassed Sinema also ranted in a video claiming that their actions were justified. On October the 4th, Sinema issued a statement. She said, quote, "Yesterday, several individuals disrupted my class at Arizona State University. After deceptively entering a locked, secure building, these individuals filmed and publicly posted videos of my students without their permission, including footage taken of both my students and I using a restroom. In Arizona, we loved the First Amendment. We know it is vital to our democracy that constituents can freely petition, protest, or criticize my policy positions and decisions. The activist group that engaged in yesterday's behavior is one that both my team and I have met with several times since I was elected to the Senate." Sinema denounced the activists. Yesterday's behavior was not a legitimate protest. It is unacceptable for activist organizations to instruct their members to jeopardize themselves by engaging in unlawful activities such as gaining entry to closed university buildings, disrupting learning environments, and filming students in a restroom. It is clear from Sinema's statement that this group were in the building illegally, and that it is illegal to film students on campus without permission, left alone in the restrooms. It is unclear whether it provides a legal basis for filing a lawsuit. Another point is that Sinema's statement says she met with the group several times. But many on the left, including Democrats, attacked Sinema after she was harassed, saying she was the most unavailable person in the Democratic Party for voters to meet, and that's why she was followed to the restroom. Another Democratic Senator, Joe Manchin, also recently came under fire from protesters for not supporting Biden's $3.5 trillion spending bill. Manchin was approached by protesters paddling kayaks outside his houseboat in Washington, D.C. over the weekend. On Monday, Joe Biden gave a weak response when asked about the bathroom incident. He was clearly afraid to offend the far left. Biden said that,
"I don't think they're appropriate tactics, but it happens to everybody. From the only people it doesn't happen to are people who have Secret Service standing around them. It's part of the process, yes."
From Biden's answers, it appears that neither Senator Sinema nor Senator Manchin had Secret Service protection. But Biden did not take their harassment seriously. The FBI also did not intervene or prevent the two lawmakers from being harassed. On Monday afternoon, Sinema flew back to Washington, D.C., where a DACA recipient tried to get Sinema to commit to passing the bill in the plane. Some leftists were waiting for Sinema at the airport when she returned to Washington, D.C. As a Democratic senator, Sinema was harassed by the so-called liberal progressive. She was also mocked and criticized by the left. What would happen if a Republican senator was harassed in this way? What if a conservative has harassed a federal senator like that? They probably would have been arrested by the FBI by now. This kind of illegal behavior by the far left is already unacceptable to many moderate Democrats. On October 4th, Andrew Yang, who ran for president in the early 2020 election and later for mayor of New York City, issued a statement announcing his withdrawal from the Democratic Party. Yang is the second generation of immigrants from Taiwan and now is 46 years old. He released a statement on his website explaining why he decided to withdraw from the Democratic Party. Yang first recalled how he registered as a Democrat in the 1990s and was a staunch Democrat all his life. He voted for Bill Clinton, fundraised for John Kerry, and supported Barack Obama. He then donated to Bernie Sanders' campaign in 2016 and finally voted for Hillary Clinton in that election. In year 2020, after losing the Democratic presidential nomination, he resumed support for Joe Biden. Later, he supported two Democratic candidates in the Senate election in Georgia. Yang also talked about the thousands of Democrats he met across the country when he was running for the president, and the friendships he built with local leaders and other candidates. Quote, "I've been a Democrat my entire adult life," Yang said, "and yet I am confident that no longer being a Democrat is the right thing." He then went on to explain why he decided to withdraw from the Democratic Party. Quote, "Our system is stuck. It is stuck in part because polarization is getting worse than ever." He summarized at the end, "Breaking up with the Democratic Party feels like the right thing to do because I believe I can have a greater impact this way." Whether that will happen remains to be seen. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time.